Why do you need human-centric thinking in architecture for competitive advantage? At its core, an architect's job is to understand the current state or the future state reality, build models that depict those realities, and tell compelling stories about those models to drive change. But we often miss out on the human perspective in these models. Not just customer experiences, but much more. Let's dive deeper. Recently, I was on a trip to India and stayed at two different places. One was at my cousin's house, and another was at a nice hotel. My cousin's place was a typical middle-class Indian home, and she gave me a spare bedroom to use. In addition to the bed, there were things that I didn't need but were part of the home, like an almirah, a sewing machine in the corner, a couple of heavy chairs, mismatched drapery on the windows, clothes drying on a clothesline, an old standing fan, and other odd things. The hotel was much fancier and uncluttered, with a TV, a bed, working table, comfortable and color-coordinated chairs, window overlooking the city, bed with fluffy pillows, coffee maker, and a few other basic needs. Both places had the capabilities to meet my basic accommodation needs, and their respective capability maps are similar. In both, the basic architecture for me to live existed. Each had a bed, bedroom, food, internet connection, and so on. Yet, the experiences that I had in either place was vastly different. My cousin's house, of course, was free. I was engaged with her family, reminiscing, laughing together, talking about the trials and tribulations of life, helping chop vegetables, sharing meals, shopping, walking, exploring, and so on. The food was usually simple, but the company and the conversation was fantastic. I enjoyed every moment of my stay. The hotel was more formal and costed money. The hotel staff was friendly and cordial, catering to all my needs. The food was delicious and rich. I didn't help the cook in the kitchen or help the staff do the laundry. The hotel had better accommodation capabilities than my cousin's house. But given a choice, I would pick staying at my cousin's house over a fancy hotel. At her place, I was a person with many shared connections and experiences. At the hotel, I was just a customer, with my accommodation needs met in exchange for money. I'm not suggesting that every company should start building relationships with their customers to compete with family members and friends. Rather, I'm simply pointing out that even though two entities might have similar capability models, they can provide vastly different experiences. If the experiences are different, our models should be different at some level. Though the capability maps are similar, the information models are different, the value streams are different, and the organizational structure is different. Yet, even with an unorganized information model, ill-defined value streams, and a simple organizational structure, in my cousin's family, she's the boss in the family, it's hard to call out the richness of the experience I had at my cousin's house. The fundamental question then is, how can we bring that richness of the human connections into our storytelling? How can we use this intangible but powerful concept in business transformation? First, we need a way to capture the humanness part in our models. Today, we typically don't capture empathy, reliability, compassion, leadership, integrity, trust, intelligence, thoughtfulness, innovation, creativity, passion, purpose, loyalty, authenticity, and much more. There's a big gap. These are often more important than managing the mechanical aspects of customer relationships with systems, applications, and data. The life of an organization is not captured in its architectural components. Architecture is important, but not sufficient to understand the organization in its entirety. Much of the organization's value is locked up in its culture and soft components, like the ones I just shared. How do we model that? One starting point is enterprise design. Enterprise design adds to architecture in two significant ways. One is identity, and the other is experience. Identity is about the organization's purpose, mission, culture, and community. Experience captures the interaction of the customers and the stakeholders with the organization. To know more about enterprise design, check out this website. Let's extend my hotel example further to make things a little more clearer. Let's say the hotel is interested in enhancing customer relationships. The customer management capability includes the people who interact with the customers, their skills, processes that support such interactions, the systems, and data. You might have information collected about your customer on where they stayed, what's their socioeconomic status, what are their preferences, and so on. Now, let's analyze a scenario where your customer rep interacts with the customer. A guest missed a connection and is stranded at an airport, unable to make it to your hotel on time. What can the rep do to help? Empathy is critical in such interactions, but can we quantify it? Empathy alone is not enough. Are your employees empowered to solve the customer's problem? For example, can the rep offer a substitute room near the airport that the customer is stranded in, even though it is twice as expensive as the customer's original hotel, which is yours? Through this exercise, we realize that each capability has implications spanning the organization. These soft implications are often not captured in the architectural models alone. We need additional human-centric models, such as identity and experience models. Your organization's competitive differentiation could come more from the intangibles than from the tangibles. Many of your competitors can replicate your other architectural capabilities, but it's near impossible to replicate the likes of culture and community that gives your organization life and a sustainable competitive differentiation. Your company is on a path, by choice or by force. If you are deliberate about envisioning a desired future state and making the right choices to get there, you have a higher chance of success. For effective transformation, organizations should model the future, the present, and the change in between. Leaders should then communicate the message by speaking to the hearts and minds of their stakeholders to ultimately accelerate transformation. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel and share it with a friend. Sign up on my website to get a one-page visual summary. Thank you.